Iceland have sent a chicken nugget into space. But why? Why would you do that? NASA James Webb Telescope has spotted a giant question mark object in deep space. There's a quest. We have to go there. We are alone in the universe. Or we are not alone in the universe. Ancient Greeks looking at the sky. It's a horse. Of course it's a horse. Samsung Galaxy S3. Designed for humans. They are racist towards aliens. All the American flags placed on the moon are now white due to the radiation from the sun. Great, now the aliens are going to think we surrendered. You've become an astronaut and are finally in space. You are stuck in space, peeing in space, or you can call it cosmic lemonade. Is a black hole destroying your universe? No, with flex tape it ain't. Earth wins Miss Universe for the 67th time. Aliens, why are you so quiet? What is on your mind? Discovering a new creature as a biologist? Discovering a new creature as an astronaut? Sunscreen companies after inventing the sun? Astronomers in the past naming planets versus astronomers today naming planets? The Big Dipper as it is today left, and as it will look in 50,000 years. Squashed my spoon. This might be the hardest picture of the year. I wish for 1,000 more wishes. You are here enjoying 2 to 18 beers. Why am I in the Andromeda Galaxy? Wizard's Curse. NASA announces first mission to fly right into the sun. Application for employment. Me opening the windows to let fresh air in. Everybody else at the International Space Station, humans, calls Earth the blue planet. Neptune, am I a joke to you? I bet our entire universe is in a tiny glass jar placed neatly on a shelf in some alien child's room as a science project he got a C on. Can't believe they got a C on this pile of crap. A speck of dust is halfway between the size of this and this. Life found on Mars. No life has... They had us in the foot. Mars captured by NASA's Curiosity rover. It's so messed up that an entirely different planet just looks like Arizona. The scariest thing we could discover on another planet is humans. No, that's true. I'd be more terrified finding humans than aliens. The Big Bang in a nutshell. This is empty. Yeet. God, let there be light. Moths. I love the implication that moths somehow existed prior to the creation of the universe. Stop censoring science. Jupiter now has 69 moons. Every comment is removed. Black holes are just stars villain age. Astronomers. This beautiful Earth is now officially 2014 years old. Amazing. Christians and atheists both laughing at their stupidity. Breathtaking view of the Milky Way from the surface of Mars. The universe is amazing. It really is. Beautiful. 4.54 billion years ago. People 4.5 billion years ago. So the Earth started out with just rocks and water, and some guy made Bluetooth out of that. NASA trying to make contact with aliens. Me trying to make contact with humans. How fast a rocket would have to go to leave every planet? Escape velocities for every planet in the solar system. Jupiter, yeet. Boeing Starliner astronauts stranded in space for 80 days will not return home until 2025. Humanity has about 6 months to purchase 8 billion ape costumes for the ultimate prank. The first people on Mars. Indeed, aliens in their area. My girl, I want space. My stupid self. It's totally normal for there to be a perfect hexagon at Saturn's pole, and you definitely don't need to worry about it. Probably the third or possibly even second most mentally ill woman I've ever dated believed the Saturn hexagon is a prison for demons. Tier list of planets I've been on. NASA's most shocking image. The image is a 1.5 billion pixel photograph of the Andromeda Galaxy. I zoomed in and I was like, yeah right, while it loaded. And then my jaw actually dropped. I can see a face there. Two of the deeply weirdest things you've maybe never seen are Jupiter from above and below. True color picture of our moon, unfiltered by our nitrogen-rich blue atmosphere. I came, the size of Jupiter, Jupiter for scale. I asked my daughter what planet we live on. She said, planet Texas. Can't argue with that. Saturn's moon Titan is rapidly migrating away from the planet. Astronomers discovered a planet which rains glass sideways, giving it a blue hue. How normal people sneeze. This is how dads sneeze. In space, everyone can hear you poop. Me, who wanted to become an astronaut. Someone has waited their entire life to write this headline. NASA data shows something leaking out of you. For $12,500, you can have your cremated remains launched into deep space after you die. What if you landed on a planet that supported life and the humans there were much more technologically advanced and they made you come back to life from your remains and you just woke up after death in a random planet? SpaceX. We're going to postpone the takeoff. The two astronauts who have been waiting for hours. Other moons rotate around their planets, displaying their majestic three-dimensional beauty for all to see. see? Our moon. It's insane how close the meteor was to hitting the visitor center. Meteor crater visitor center. Countries with cars in space versus countries with universal healthcare. I think having a car in space is way cooler. Hey, do you guys maybe have all of us fly traps? Yes. Nobody. Literally nobody. Not even a single atom. The universe. NASA captures photo of the happiest sun ever when its dark patches, known as coronal holes, formed a smile. According to news, UFO caught on camera. In reality, it's a street lamp. I apologize for contributing to the triggering. Wait, no I don't. No lives matter. The universe doesn't give a damn about you. Asteroid passing through solar system. Jupiter is for me. The world is going absolutely mental at the moment. If you get abducted by aliens, call it a rescue mission. People, put a bunch of carbon in the atmosphere. The planet, be a lot cooler if you didn't. People actually think the Earth is flat. Sun round, moon round, stars round, but the Earth is flying through space like a frisbee. Stars are star-shaped, not round. So if doing the deed in space creates a small amount of thrust due to the lack of gravity, how many times do I need to do the deed to reach light speed? NASA texted them, yo, you want a job? Karen's in space be like, I am not wearing a helmet because it violates my rights. Alien. I'll rule you all with an iron fist. Me. Our leaders already do that. Aliens. Then I'll strip your planet of its resources. You're not gonna believe this. Picture from Mars versus picture from any bank surveillance. NASA chief has declared Pluto a planet once again. Pluto is a planet. One less baby helps the planet more than giving up meat. Cannibals. You know, I'm something of a climate activist myself. 5 to 7 billion years from now, when sun turns into a red giant star and swallows Mercury, Venus, and possibly Earth, Pluto be like, who is not a planet now? The entire planet going awfully. The Mars rover who just found a cool rock. This hill on Mars looks like a face in an elevation scale map. Kind of looks like Michael Myers, like his mask. NASA in 1970 saves 3 astronauts from leaking oxygen and power over 200,000 miles from home. NASA in 1999. Was it English or metric units? Nah, forget it. Asteroid or asteroid. The New York Times headline from when America first put an astronaut in space makes it sound like the US just forcibly threw a random guy into the atmosphere. US hurls man 115 miles into space. Humans when the Earth faces towards the moon versus humans when the Earth faces towards the sun. Earth's magnetic field is mysteriously weakening, causing satellites and spacecraft to malfunction. That's another one for Apocalypse Bingo. Every dot is a star. Every dot is a galaxy. Every bubble is a universe. 2 black holes collided 3 days ago. They are located 4 billion light years from Earth. This means that the collision took place 4 billion years ago. Wake up. The sun has risen. And what do you want me to do? Photosynthesis? According to the laws of physics, a planet the shape of a donut could actually exist. So if we colonize Mars, will we have towns like New York, New Orleans, New Mexico? What planet is this? It's Earth, viewed from 15 to 145 degrees. NASA has discovered a new planet covered with drugs. This is a real place, the world's biggest salt flat. The ground turns into a giant mirror when it rains. I'm such a look at the moon type of person, because I mean, look at the moon. See that green dot? That's a bolt of lightning. On Jupiter, only in the darkness can you see the stars, and the sun is just there like what? If you rearrange the letters in the light, it spells alien. If you add in the partial letters touched by the light, it's E.T. alien. You're not gonna believe this. You know Neil Armstrong? What's his first name backwards? Alien. 2 immense galaxies colliding 50 million light years from Earth. Looks like a shrimp. I don't know what to do with this information. Stop sending Matt Damon to space. Who wore it better? When NASA finally decides to go back to the moon. Profile picture versus tagged picture. I love the way Earth rotates. It really makes my day. Mario never returned to Earth. He became half mineral, half animal, and floated forever through space. And though he wished for death, he was unable to die. So eventually, he stopped thinking. In the 1940s, Swedes were terrified of a type of unidentified aerial phenomenon known as ghost rockets. Space junk. What you think is space junk versus what I think. There are more stars in the sky than grains of sand on the Earth. How do I live knowing this lamp exists and I don't have it? Oh, you just gotta get it. Sunsets on Mars are blue. If you're an astronaut and you don't end every relationship by saying, look, I just need some space, then you're wasting everyone's time. My nose itches. Night sky on a normal day versus on any astronomical event. Meteor, Uteor. It got better. It's an old meme. Earth, come over. Asteroid. Can't, I'm flying through space. Earth, I'm 75% wet. Asteroid. A UFO-shaped chicken coop made from an old trampoline trampoline base and 2 old larger satellite TV dishes. Schrodinger's nap, where you are both too tired to do things and awake enough to not fall asleep, so you just lie in bed with your eyes closed, suffering. Girls in graphic design class. OMG, my painting is so pretty. Boys in graphic design class. An attempted space pie chart art. Sun, space, sun racer. 4 reasons why we should save Earth. Earth is the only planet with monkey, the only planet with cats, with dogs, and is the only planet with memes. Largest things in the universe. Earth. Earth has acquired a brand new moon that's about the size of a car. Elon Musk said, "It's not mine." Burning building in space. How does that work? Yeah, because there's no oxygen in space. I knew I had seen a black hole before. Not believing in the existence of aliens is like taking a spoonful of water from an ocean and saying, "There is no shark in the ocean because there is none in my spoon." What the sky would look like from a planet close to a black hole. Sunset exists. Photographers. Oops, you added too much. Butter, sugar, flour, baking soda, egg, mess. 1930. We discovered a new planet. Let's name it Pluto. 2006. Pluto doesn't fall under our definitions of a planet, so it is no longer a planet. 2019. We should consider Pluto a planet again. Pluto. They said I could become anything. Pancake astronaut. I took a picture of a music festival and it looks like I went on a trip to outer space. It reminds me of those really old theater carpets. Planet names in the solar system versus outside the solar system. Destroyed 1 planet. Destroyed 5 planets. Destroyed an entire universe. Scientists discover bizarre hell planet where it rains rocks and oceans are made of lava. Clearly depressed, Pluto has yet to complete a single orbit since demotion to dwarf planet. A 2009 study found that the closer a woman lives to the equator, the more likely she is to give birth to a female. A solar eclipse and the Milky Way is seen from the ISS. Me, interested in physics, calculus, differential equations, probability and statistics. How black holes work. Neil Armstrong's moon landing. Colorized. I believe in space supremacy. I am Tooth. Guardians of the Gums. The sunset on Mars is blue. This is how rain looks from the planet. Plunet. Moon that turned into a planet. Moon. Moon with its own moon. Planet. Planet that orbits a black hole. The sunset on Earth as seen from space. It literally looks like magma. Beautiful moon halo from Norway. Longest lasting things in the universe. Universe's expansion. 22 billion to 30 billion years. Red dwarf. Trillions of years. Supermassive black holes. 10 to the power of 14. Your V card. Infinity. Our goal is to completely kill the planet and 99% of bacteria on it for the lowest price. Space. Super Mario Galaxy also has a question mark. Coincidence? I think not. Mario is canon. Why people watch NASA's spaceship take off. It's awesome. Nothing else to watch. It could go wrong. Coldest things in the universe. The moon. Absolute zero. Out of bed. Man's not hot. Girls. Boys go to Jupiter to get more stupider. Girls go to Mars to get more chocolate bars. Men. Venus, and what rhymes with Venus beginning with P? Fastest things in the universe. Light, sound, people who build the sets in Lego commercials. Expansion of the universe. Space is lesbian. That's why it's called a galaxy. Just galaxies being galaxies. I recognize it's problematic and maybe really destructive and a bad representation, but I ship Milky Way and Andrew pretty hard. They're going to merge in 100 billion years. Slow burn. NASA just released these 8 images of Jupiter taken by the Juno spacecraft. The highest resolution, most color detailed to date. Space Movie Starter Pack has one of these shots. If Netflix made it, it will have a score of mostly synthesizers. Main character as a kid wants to go to the moon, but probably ended up going to Neptune or something. We'll have a shot of Earth like this. NASA discovers super Earth that may support life. The planet? Yeah, that planet's gonna get taken advantage of and treated badly. But hey, you benefit humans. Request. At what angle would you have to pee to send the pee into orbit on the moon? If it's not possible, what would the minimum acceleration due to gravity have to be to send pee into orbit at 45 degrees be? The Earth from space, 1940. How do we... The thing which I don't get is, how the hell were we able to take a photo of Earth in 1946? We were pretty advanced. It takes like thousands of years to travel from distant stars to us. So when we look up at the stars, we are looking in the past. I'm about to sign up to colonize Mars. It's been good Earth. Yeah, let me tell you. My dad as a kid, I was probably 7, 6 at the time. He would always go on about how he's moving to Mars. Troll, I actually thought he was going to Mars. I thought he signed up. This is a model of how many Earths can fit inside the sun. Damn, it's got to be at least 12. New research finds Jupiter is flinging asteroids at Earth. Honestly, do you blame it? The Earth is actually a donut, and the reason the sky is blue is because you see the ocean above you. Zoom, enhance. 4.6 billion light years away versus 10 feet away security camera. Why is this fresh tomato orbiting in space at 4.8 miles per hour? The ultimate clickbait. Why is it so hard to go to the moon or different planets? Like, just build a staircase that goes into the sky. You're hired. Real satellite imagery from NASA. We are killing our planet. No, that's just the United States photoshopped on the moon. No, that's a dying planet. Have some respect. Moons can have moons, and they are called moons. This just cured my depression. Breaking. A black hole 33 billion times bigger than the sun has been discovered. And Carl said, I'll handle this. A hypothetical Mars, if it still had water. Firefox, hey look, it's you. Hey look, it's me. Nice try, NASA. Yeah, that's the universe, alright. Do you ever think, perhaps, that the universe we could be living in is simply a brain cell to another living creature? I have been mind screwed. So a brain cell versus the look of the universe. That said, do you ever think, perhaps, that in our brain cells, there are people living like us? The sun, Mercury, my finger, close add button. I don't know what's so sad about the Mars rover dying. I'm gonna die cold and alone too. Difference is, the Mars rover contributed to society. I had to grind for this view. We live on a floating rock in a giant space that has no real end. And you want me to memorize vocabulary words? It's posts like these that make me want to go outside and freak out sometimes. Turkish scientists announce failure of attempt to launch a kebab into space. It fell into the ocean at 35 kilometers. Me, opening the windows to let fresh air in. Everybody else at the International Space Station. You are here. This is a picture from the Curiosity rover on Mars, showing Earth from the perspective of Mars. You are literally looking at your home from the perspective of another planet. Epic times indeed. Group photo, everyone. Everyone. Hey, I look really good in this one. Nice try, alien. There is no secret underground base on Mars. Yeah, right. How most people think the night sky looks like versus how it actually is. It looks like a static TV, you know. I propose polyhedron Earth. Sort of round, sort of flat. Truly the answer for everyone. A 4.1 kilometer asteroid will close in on Earth in April. We're not that lucky. I feel like scientists should just sometimes keep things to themselves. Astronomers find giant black hole as big as 12 billion suns. Free event, solar eclipse party. Most kids go back to school that day. Can it be done on the weekend? Did this lady just ask to reschedule the sun? The clearest picture of the sun from NASA. Want to touch the forbidden carpet. If you could place any object on the surface of Mars, purely to confuse NASA scientists, what would it be? I would place the 4 airplanes that went missing in the Bermuda Triangle. Let's go on a date. Where is this at? Forget a date, I'll go alone. I rolled down a hill while taking a panorama for this one. It looks like a puddle that leads into an alternate world. A robot on Mars versus CCTV on Earth. Scientists have discovered a planet that possibly inhabits alien life form. Tell them to bring their best women, and we'll bring our best women. Let's see who's got the best women. There is a lizard satellite floating in space, and Russia no longer has it under control. In a million years, when we get invaded by lizard men, you can blame it on Russia. On a drive in downtown Alaska, this strange light appeared in the sky. It lasted a couple of minutes, then disappeared. I'm not saying it was aliens, but it was aliens. This carrot wants to be an astronaut so badly. Milky Way galaxy has 4 malicious alien civilizations that could attack Earth. What? NASA fixes Mars lander by telling it to hit itself with a shovel. You know what? Screw gender norms. I'm going to Jupiter to get more stupider. Grabs hand. No, we are going to Jupiter to get more stupider. We have just discovered a new world, not too far from our own, which we could possibly migrate over in the near future. Space salami. The first ever salami launched to space. History has been made, boys. China has just sprouted a plant on the far side of the moon. China moon plants have died. Hope this pandemic gets over soon. Meanwhile on Mars, Neptune taken by NASA. Who the hell let NASA take Neptune? Release Neptune. Free Neptune. That moment when you can't make your mind up on what to wear, so you put on a spacesuit. What if humans could actually breathe in space, and the government says we can't, so we don't try to escape? Air and Space Museum. Yeah, they're right. Technically. Spaceships in movie. Hi, so spaceships in real life. Dude, are you upside down? No, you. Now that I'm in the space mood, I would like to remind each and every one of you that NASA drew a PP on Mars. We drew a PP on another planet. That is mankind's legacy. When you visit space versus when space visits you, I know which one I'll prefer. NASA is planning mission to giant asteroid valued at, whoa, what is that number? Well, this was a lie. True space fact. If you look up, there it is. Or is it? You've gone too far. That's the last question I'll let you ask. Help, I'm being silent. NASA had to relabel the PP sleeve for urinating in spacesuits from small, medium, and large to large, gigantic, and humongous. Because astronauts would only choose the large, and it kept slipping off. God, I hope this is true. Oh my god, it is. I am going for Among Us. Space horror is the best horror. What's out there? No one knows. Big rocks, creepy stuff, sticky things, meth. Stuff on fire, big holes with meth in them. Need men. For what? I say we launch them into space with the rest of our garbage. Okay then, when would you like to be sent into space? I'm not a man. Yeah, but you said garbage too. The pilot done messed up. People, blaming NASA for wasting money on a spaceship just to destroy it. The US military spending more in a day. NASA successfully hurled an object into an asteroid at 14,000 miles per hour to see if it could be knocked off course. The James Webb Telescope took a detailed image of the impact. I wish for 1,000 more wishes. How do you organize a space party? You plan it. Look at Pluto. Pluto, you will always be invited to my parties, okay? Reblogging for Pluto. Pluto is still a planet to me. I love you, little planet. I hope you understand how much this made me laugh. I would tell you how big the universe is, but by the time I even finished the sentence, it would have already quadrupled in size. Fact, outer space is likely really big. Hey look, an alien.
This is my planet, so you're the alien here.
In space, no one can hear you violate workplace safety regulations. The Romans naming planets. This looks huge. Let's name it King of the Gods, Jupiter. Modern astronomers naming exoplanet. Me, opens a not safe for work site at the International Space Station. Hot women in my area. Bonjour. NASA, after inventing space. Where is my Uber? I'll be there in a minute. Mankind's rekindled interest in space exploration and travel. Space, with about 1 million ways to wipe mankind out in an instant. Quick animal facts. If you stacked every elephant in the whole world on top of each other, they wouldn't like it. I'd like to apologize to the lady I just called by mistake saying, "Hello, is this planet Earth?" Not a prank call, just a wrong number. 1970. I bet there will be flying cars in the future. 2018. Apparently, this is the clearest photo of Mercury ever taken. Why isn't everyone getting so excited about this? It is literally another planet. Look at how beautiful it is. Stop what you're doing and look at how alien-like this planet is. What is living there? Can you attempt to give me anxiety about space? Drink the raspberry space vodka. The what? There are giant clouds of alcohol floating in space. It's called Sagittarius B2 and it's raspberry flavored. Humans. Look at those fireworks. Mother Nature. Hold my beer. Africa to the left, Europe to the right. I love this job. Around 1,000 Jupiters could fit inside the sun. Around 1,300 Earths could fit inside Jupiter. If sun is that big, why is there dark in the space? Why it only illuminate Earth? NASA scientists, when an asteroid passes 300 bajillion miles away from us. NASA panics after asteroid fires back. 63 Earths can fit inside Uranus. One day, I'll be mature enough to read this without laughing. Desktop goals. Useless. How can I access the invisible programs behind Earth? Wait 12 hours and they'll be at the front. Oh wait, why is the camera still alive? Space has been around for hundreds of years, but scientists still don't know much about it. Pretty sure space has been around since the beginning of time. Only hundreds of years? Meant to say hundreds of space years. What is a space year? 365 days. Rocket in 1969. We go to the moon. Rocket in 2020. With a bad rocket week. Look at the solar system. Every single other planet has been proven round. So what cluster hell of events led to Earth being flat? Riddle me that. The Earth is not a planet. NASA scientists. This is the first ever photo of a black hole, unveiled today after a decade of work by scientists. This is a peach ring. NASA spots giant pumpkin in space. Shares pictures on Halloween. Alien planet. What actually means versus what people think. There's no girl on planet Earth I love more than you. What about other planets? Okay, but consider this. Mermaids in space. Space mermaids. As in alien mermaids that live in the vacuum of space and swim between the stars. A setting that uses the analogy of deep space as the open ocean, but keeps all the sea monsters. Do what? Luring astronauts into black holes with a song that carries across the void where no one can hear you scream. This post turned real fast. Here's a picture of the supermoon, in case you missed it. Being buried on the moon now costs about the same as an average funeral. I am ready to die. What I really want to know is, does the body decompose? Does it just stay there forever? I'm not an expert on moon science, but I want answers. Moon science fact. Since there is little to no atmosphere on the moon, your body would probably not decompose, but it would get hit with hella amounts of radiation from the sun and be kind of radioactive. I've always wanted my corpse to be eternal and radioactive. Me in history class. Wow, humanity has been through some fascinating times. I wonder if I'll ever live through major historical events. Me now? No, I want to get off the ride. It was supposed to be space travel. It was supposed to be space travel. Some people don't understand how huge the sun actually is, so I added a banana for scale. You're living, you occupy space, and you have mass. You know what that means? You matter. This is the most inspirational pun I have ever seen. 17-year-old discovers planet 6.9 times larger than Earth on third day of internship with NASA. The 17-year-old, every scientist at NASA. Boeing CEO, we're going to beat Elon Musk to Mars. Do it. Game on. SpaceX lands a rocket on a drone ship in the middle of an ocean. And you can't even park a car straight. Biology tells you that you are 7% blood. Chemistry tells you that you are 65% water. Physics tells you that you are 99.9999999 empty space. You got me there. According to astronauts, space smells like seared steak, hot metals, and wielding fumes. Space is big. Like, you could probably fit in like 3 houses and 20 cars, man. That's space. Space is infinite. Oh, okay. So like 310 houses then, and maybe 22 cars. That is literally the biggest understatement. Wow, whatever. 400 houses. Space treks. These are the voyages of the Star Prize Entership. Long live and prosperous. You versus the guy she told you not to worry about. For some reason, we're scared of looking into the abyss of the ocean when it's only a few miles deep. But we're completely fine looking into the nearly infinite abyss of space. In fact, most of us find it calming. Gravity doesn't drag me upwards into the unforgiving maw of the cosmos. Not yet. What do you mean not yet? First flight on Earth, 1903, versus first flight on Mars, 2022. Space in metric system versus space in imperial system. You ever go to take a piss at a party, and as soon as you close the door you feel like you're in a different dimension? Save point. Do you want a quick save? Yes? No? Why do characters in movies have such a hard time keeping AIs from turning evil? If going to turn evil, don't. It's just as easy as that. The guy who bought a SpaceX ticket to the moon is broke, a soul for a soul. NASA, if it had the same budget as the US military. Pluto. No one loves me anymore. I'm a useless dwarf planet. Google. Our favorite dwarf planet since 2006. Students. School doesn't let us sleep. Also students at 3 AM. We sent garlic bread to the edge of space, then ate it. China is planning to launch its own artificial moon by 2020. The US Space Force. What do you think we're putting a car in space for? Elon wants to create Rainbow Road? Okay, that's cool. When we make first contact with aliens. Y'all got any space memes? No one. My eraser traveling through space and time after falling off the desk. Why are you crying so damn loud? NASA's Perseverance rover loses its hitchhiking pet rock after more than a year together on Mars. NASA. We used to have 9 planets, but now we only have 8. Pluto. Stop telling everyone I'm not a planet. Sometimes we still hear its voice. Look, I'm not saying that demoting a planet named after the Roman god of death stoked his rage and brought down on us his vengeful fury and retribution, but gestures at everything. Finally, an explanation. I miss Italian Elon Musk. I send the calzone into space. I don't pay as a taxes. Oh, they're sending me to space just for fun. Mission perimeters. Have fun out there. Houston, we're having a blast. Astronaut. Moon's fun. What? Putting on a party hat and getting back on the rocket ship. Moon's fun. Do you want to go into deep sea or space? Neither. The Lord made me of and for the dirt. To the tunnels it is, then. We've seen eclipses on Earth, so here's an eclipse from Mars. This is Mars's moon Phobos, eclipsing the sun. Humiliating. Looks awful. Yet another massive W for Earth. The best planet in the universe. Can't lie, I couldn't decipher it myself. Humans sending this out versus aliens' response. So this is the crew in every space movie. 3 times, 1 times, 1 times, 1 times, and an optional 1 times. Space X, space Y, space X squared equals Y. Do you ever think about how supermarkets have no clear indicator of time passing visually? Like, if you go into a supermarket in the morning or midnight, it would look the same. Same harsh white lighting. Time isn't real. Nothing is real. Avocados are half off. Domesticated casinos. If it was guaranteed that you would survive, would you rather A. Explore a black hole, B. Explore the entire ocean? Personally, the ocean. Me in a black hole without being able to see anything because there's no light. Wow, this sucks. Me at the bottom of the ocean without being able to see anything because there's no light. Wow, this sucks. People who are not excited about space baffle me. Like, they just found a planet where it rains glass and it rains sideways. It's like, yo, how can you not care? If you can't be excited about space, get out of my face. There is a super massive cloud of drinkable alcohol floating around in space, and from what we can tell so far, it's raspberry flavored, okay? As you guys know, raspberry is my favorite. God, if I'm going to die soon, just take me to the raspberry flavored cloud planet. My 3-year-old said she wanted to be an astronaut, and I said she had to study hard, go to college, learn a lot of science, and take physical fitness tests, and she shrugged and said, that's just 4 things. So she's basically a nonchalant motivational speaker. A child's mind is always so positive. Today I learned that until 2006, Russian cosmonauts carried weapons into space. This included a pistol, shotgun, and machete. The purpose of these weapons was to defend cosmonauts from wolves, bears, and other wildlife after their return trip to the Siberian wilderness. There's something poetic about the idea of surviving the most inhospitable environment in the universe, and there's several mile fall from it through the power of technology and then being lain low by a bear, and the idea that Russians are always, even in cislunar space, ready to fight bears. First drawings of the moon made by Galileo Galilei after observing it through his telescope in 1609. Surely back then though, talking about this image, there would be no light pollution, or at least hardly any, so they wouldn't even need a telescope. Why vacuum cleaners are so loud. Vacuums kill sound, which is why there is no sound in space. The sounds are afraid of being killed by the vacuum, so they run away. The scared sounds find your ears to live in. Science is so cool. Space is a lesbian, that's why it's a galaxy. Just galaxies being galaxies. I recognize it's problematic and maybe really destructive and a bad representation, but I ship Milky and Andy pretty hard. The Milky and Andromeda galaxies are literally going to merge in 100 billion years. Oh, I didn't...
We have McDonald's at home. I
learned that astronauts Mark Lee and Jan Davis married in secret, 9 months before their joint flight to the ISS, and didn't tell NASA until it was too late to train replacements. They are the only married couple to have ever flown in space together. Compared to the rest of the galaxy, humans are small, adorable hunters who enjoy breaking things to see what happens, but are still well liked because they take care of minor problems. It turns out humans are not space elves or orcs, but intelligent space cats. This one time I went to an address by the American ambassador to the UK, and he said he does this exercise with British students, where he gives them index cards and asks them to write things on one side that frustrate/scare them about America, and on the other side, things that inspire them about America. And he said when his office collected them, the most written concepts of the frustration side were like guns, violence, racism, and the inspiration side was overwhelmingly NASA. Less guns, more NASA. The Earth is lumpy. I was not aware of this, thank you. This makes so much sense, but it makes me so uncomfortable. Jupiter, high on caffeine, sleep deprived, and doing its best to take care of 79 moons. Everyone shut up, I got accepted for a NASA internship. Language? Suck my pee-pee. I'm working at NASA, and I am on the National Space Council that oversees NASA. This onion won't make me cry. The sun will explode in 5 billion years. 6-year-olds. A 4.1 kilometer asteroid will close in on Earth in April. NASA has confirmed. Could end human civilization if it hits. I don't even care anymore at this point. If Earth stops rotating suddenly, then you would fly east at 465 meters per second and die instantly. If it continues to rotate, most of us will die slowly, painfully, and afraid. If the multiverse theory is true, then there's a universe where it isn't. Multiverse theory doesn't cover paradoxical situations, except in the universe where it does. If Saturn were as close to the Earth as the moon is, then this is how it would look. My flight to Nevada is taking a bit too long. Do any of you know why? Because you're in space. Next time a conspiracy theorist tries to tell you what happened, present a more outlandish theory and accuse them of covering up the truth. Conspiracy theorist. The moon landing was fake. Me. You believe in the moon? I'm going to smash that planet. That's Venus. Venus is the god of beauty. Venus the planet is the hottest planet in the solar system, just enough to melt lead. It rains acid, and the atmospheric pressure can crush a tank. NASA is hunting alien civilizations by looking for their pollution.
do you think we are stupid as you guys to destroy our own planet?
How were the pyramids built? Well, the pyramids were built before Isaac Newton invented gravity, so the stone's weight wasn't a problem. A few months ago, I learned that people who had been deaf from birth, but gained their hearing later in life often say that they expected the sun to make a noise, and I've been thinking about that ever since. In perspective, neutron star with a mass of 500,000 Earth has a diameter no larger than of New York. Pluto hasn't made a full orbit around the sun since it was discovered in 1930. I wouldn't finish my job if I got fired either. Where were you 49 years ago today, when these people landed on the moon? I was on the moon! Imagine being the only person alive who can say this. Astronomers watched a neutron star glitch and can't explain it yet. You son of a... Are you a simulation? Huh? Just putting this out there for the flat earthers. If we put a giant mirror 10 light years away from Earth and looked at it through a telescope, theoretically, we would see 20 years in the past. Your CPU temperature has exceeded 8,000 degrees. That is hotter than the sun. Ground control to Major Tom. So long, Space Cowboy. Space.
Cowboy.
The most logical argument in any Marvel movie. Why would you want to save the galaxy? Because I'm one of the idiots who lives in it. Okay, but I'm just saying, this picture of Mercury makes it look like the roundest potato in existence that someone started to peel but got distracted. No, I don't think they got distracted. They were like, oh, this is gonna take far longer than I thought. Signals that baffled astronomers for 17 years traced to observatory microwave oven. Oh man, I can imagine the screaming fits. The sun and planets to scale. The sun is quite big, but you know what's bigger? I can hear the blast in my head when they collide. Sound doesn't travel in space. You wouldn't hear a thing. Then how do you explain all the sounds in Star Wars? Checkmate. We used to have 9 planets, but we now only have 8. Stop telling everyone I'm not a planet. Sometimes we hear the voices. My car is currently orbiting Mars. Well, no, it's orbiting the sun and occasionally passes the orbit of Mars. Not the same thing. Who died and made you the orbital police? NASA. Oh, you mean the cowards who would rather go to space than face what's in the ocean. True. Higher resolution image of Jupiter. Wow, it looks like we have ducks on Jupiter. Pluto has a heart-shaped sea that's filled with poisonous ice. Don't we all? Outer space is only an hour drive away. If you could drive your car straight into the sky at 60 miles per hour, someone had AI generated Alien the Musical, and unfortunately, it looks incredible. This is Nelly. She's an astronaut. Please don't interrupt her spacewalk. That's one small boop for the pup. One giant boop for pup kind. I saw someone say Florida upside down looks like the Grinch, and after I flipped my phone, I'm mad I can't unsee it. Ancient Greek astrologers be like, ah yes, a goat. If you're mad and find yourself yelling that you want someone launched into the sun, take a moment, calm yourself, and remember that it takes a lot less Delta 5 to launch them out of the solar system instead. You can be mad, but that's no excuse to be inefficient with propellant. People who think this planet was created for humans to be ours are so wild to me. 70% of the planet's surface is undrinkable, uninhabitable death water that sharks love. How is that a human-centric design? The Earth was created for various types of crabs. I think it's a universal truth that everyone in our generation takes Pluto's losing its planetary status as a personal offense. Yes? Imagine if China, while they're up on the moon, decided to knock down the US flag or whatever just to say, screw you. And it's like, what are we gonna do? Spend a couple of billion just to fly some craft up to the moon and re-erect the flag? The whole scenario would be petty, and that's hilarious. I have lived in America my entire life, and I'm 100% sure we would do exactly that. Scientists believe there is a 9th planet in our solar system that is roughly 10 times larger than Earth. They haven't been able to locate it yet, but they know it's there because of its gravitational effects on other objects. What do you mean they can't find it? I pointed my telescope at the Jellyfish Nebula for 23 hours to capture this. Is it just me, or is NASA weirdly aggressive in their article about black holes? Could a black hole destroy Earth? I asked my Uber driver how long he's been Uber driving for, and he said, I never started. And then I laughed, and then he didn't laugh, and then we rode in silence for 10 minutes, and then I sneezed, and he said, what was that sound you just made? And I said, a sneeze, and he said, okay, 5 stars. 5 stars because it's clearly his first day on Earth. My friend was preparing for shooting the lunar eclipse when a plane came by. I'm gonna cut the moon in half. The most futuristic thing in the Star Wars universe is probably that planets are always seen as one unity and not hundreds of countries. Flat brain society. Ooh, I wonder who's joined this society. Hubble captures vivid auroras in Jupiter's atmosphere. Breaking. Jealous of all the attention the rest of the universe is getting with NASA's fancy new telescope, Jupiter puts on a little hat. Cat rolls in edible glitter, instantly becomes a beautiful galaxy. You don't need an astronomer to explain why the Earth is round. You need a psychologist to figure out what's wrong with the flat earthers. So it turns out the guy who discovered Uranus originally wanted to name it George. Just imagine a planet named George. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, George. My body is not a temple. It is a Federation starship with critical hull damage and shields at 0%. Planetarium presenters trying to explain to a busload of 4th graders how incomprehensibly vast space is. Me, 10. You will never be the same again. Slides NASA $20. So tell me about the aliens. Aliens. Slides NASA 40. What aliens? NASA, with $60 holding back tears. We can finally afford some more space rocks. NASA staff working from home. Stars, they're just like us. I say as I point up at the celestial body in the night sky that has already been dead inside for years. Something's weird is going on with our universe. NASA says independent. Vibes are off, NASA confirms. We should have a holiday called Space Day, where lights are shut off for an hour at night to reduce light pollution, so we can see the galaxy. 40 kilobytes of RAM in 1969. We put people on the moon. 8 gigabytes of RAM now. Chrome tab scary. Did you know there are rockets in the ocean, but no submarines in space? Now, how do you know? Have you been to space? I don't think you have. Imagine you are this little guy in complete darkness for so long, unaware of how sparkly your apartment is. NASA employee. Oh hey, you guys are back early. Astronaut. Moon's wet. What? Grabs a mop. Moon's wet. I have always been a light eater. When it gets light, I start eating, said the black hole. Rare picture of human walking on space. If I had to rate our solar system, I'd give it 1 star. All this space and you still couldn't fit me in. Will you have another one? Nah, too much responsibility. Don't want to end up like Jupiter. I want to thank the people for putting their faith in me. I am ready to serve. Arnold voted best leader for Alien Invasion. It's wild that you can just do anything. Date the wrong person, choose the wrong career. You can go outside and start eating dirt if you want, and the universe lets you. Not even a pop-up. Like, are you sure? Mods, can we ban this guy? Sure. My teacher is so dumb. He thought the sun was a star. That's because it is? No, it's not. A sun is a sun, and a star is a star. Saying that a sun is a star is the same as saying a tomato is a fruit. That's right, it's not true. Earth has acquired a brand new moon that's about the size of a car. It's not mine. You are here, crying in the shower before work. Friendly reminder that planet Earth is a dense molten core, encased in a layer of solids, and therefore is, technically speaking, a ravioli. On December 28th, 1973, after having worked for 16 hours a day without breaks for 6 weeks, the crew of the Skylab space station mutinied and shut off communications with ground control for a day. Jupiter's moon, Callisto. Is no one going to explain what all the lights are? They're impact craters. Callisto is one of the most heavily cratered objects in the solar system, and as far as my basic research has just gone, the light parts are essentially iced over impact craters. So essentially, we're looking at something with a very frosty/icy surface. They're bright because they reflect the sun. Got a 2.4 GPA my first semester in college. Thought maybe I wasn't cut out for engineering. Today, I've landed 2 spacecrafts on Mars, and now I'm designing one for the moon. STEM is hard for everyone. Grades ultimately aren't what matter. Curiosity and perseverance matter. Hey, can you please tag your space posts with space or space mention? Seeing space makes me really anxious and I don't want to see it on my dashboard. No offense, but if space makes you uncomfortable, then I don't think following a blog that only posts about space is the best idea for you. 2020 can't get any worse. Researchers at Large Hadron Collider are confident to make contact with parallel universe in days. So this was a lie, or else I would have heard about it again. NASA. So we found 7 new planets. Pluto. The moon is not a rock in space. The moon is its own light source. Rocks don't reflect light, neither does the moon. Literally everything that you see reflects light. It's how vision works. Red video of scientists naming planets. 6-year-old figured out she can sneakily stick a note on someone's back, but she doesn't know they should say things like, kick me, so they just have space facts on them. Humans. Sends interstellar radio message into space. Every life form in the universe swipes left. Earth half day and half night, as seen from space. I wonder how cool it would be if someone was in the middle of these halves. Whoever is in the middle of day and night must be thinking this is crazy. We're ruining the planet. I'm sorry, who is this we? I don't recall myself running $1 billion oil business. Bad airline travel is the absolute pinnacle of humanity to me. We have found a way to soar through the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, and also found a way to make it suck the whole time. Absolutely iconic work by the species. The richest person on this planet wants to live on another planet. Yeah, I think that says a lot. It's happening again. Well, we could try radiation treatment this time. Or I could just smack you with a big rock like last time. Oh, the boinky sponge, crinkly doo, the shrunkle scrimblow. Out of every universe there is, I had to live in the one without magic and superpowers. Yeah, but this one has Dippin' Dots. Mars Olympus Mons, the tallest known volcano in the solar system, has such a gradual slope that someone standing at the base couldn't see the summit because it's beyond the horizon. Grimes and Elon Musk are the Kardashians for people who watch Rick and Morty. Twitter is bleeding into the local graffiti. Elon is Space Karen. Planets aligned. Wait, what type of planet's this? Sorry, I dropped your science. Guys literally want one thing, and it's disgusting. Astronauts tackle Air Leak on International Space Station with flex tape. Oh, so you got a telescope for Christmas. Sorry, we're just gonna stay here. When NASA said it's going to set up a moon base, but no one is talking about it. You know Orion's belt? Waste of space. I know, not a great joke. 3 stars. My friend said Fahrenheit is how people feel. Celsius is how water feels. Kelvin is how the molecules feel. And I can't stop thinking about how much sense this makes. If Earth's 4.5 billion year old history were condensed into 24 hours, dinosaurs extinction 1141, humans emerged 1158. All of the recorded history has happened in the last 3 seconds. How rad are these planetary chocolates from Japan? If this video gets 1,000 likes, I will buy these and then review them in a video. Why not? That seems fun. A Norwegian island wants to get rid of time. Norwegian island, Summerray, wants to become the world's first time-free zone. The sun does not set for weeks during its summer, and isn't seen for long winter periods. With a perpetual day or night, residents want to abolish clock time completely. Ideal existence. Imagine never being late to anything. What time is it? Gets arrested. We are the first generation to reach the temperature greater than the sun's core, capture the first image of a black hole, see the sunset on another planet, Mars, capture the deepest and sharpest image of the universe. Only 3 people in the nation were qualified to hand-pack the parachutes for Apollo 15. Their expertise was so vital, they were not allowed to ride in the same car together, for fear that a single auto accident could cripple the space program. Living on Earth is so boring. Imagine touching the rings of Saturn, climbing icy mountains on Pluto, witnessing neutron stars colliding from close, falling into a black hole, experiencing extreme space-time distortion. It's crazy out there. Painting I did in '89 titled August 21st, 2017. I actually thought 28 years in the future, tourists might watch the eclipse from the moon. So, people were so ambitious about the future. I mean, people still are now, including myself with VR. But I hope I'm not disappointed. Please don't disappoint us. This dude paid $55 million to work for the first time in his life. Billionaire sent to space, wasn't expecting to work so hard on the ISS. The first private astronauts, who paid $55 million to journey to the ISS, needed some hand-holding from the regular crew. We did it, we time traveled. But to what year? Let me ask that guy over there. What time are we in? 59 BC. We aren't the only time travelers here. Scientists discover bizarre hell planet where it rains rocks and oceans are made of lava. Yes, it's called Mustafa, chapter 1. This is my favorite quote ever. The story so far. In the beginning, the universe was created. This has made a lot of people very angry and been widely regarded as a bad move. Today I learned NASA's plan to dispose of corpses in space is to freeze them into the airlock and then violently shake the body with a robotic arm until it turns to space dust. Bad astronauts get put in the corpse wiggler. In 1977, we received a radio signal from space that lasted 72 seconds, and to this day, we still don't know where it came from. Yes, we do. It came from space. I hope it was some nerd who just knew how radio signals worked and he was trolling, not an actual alien. Or maybe people from the future. If Thanos' snap killed 50% of all life, that means that the survivors would have lost 50% of their gut biomes in an instant and spent the next few months power blasting their bathrooms with diarrhea. In this essay, I don't get it. Thanos snap killed. Why would they lose their gut biomes? In a universe, in a galaxy, in a solar system, planet, continent, country, state, city, neighborhood, street, house, room. Somebody's thinking. Look in the upper right corner. I don't see anything. Harpoon gun. A very long cable anchored to the ground. The moon. Shoot harpoon to the moon. So the Earth is rotating. The cable wraps around Earth, pulling the moon down. A small step for a stroll. Travel to the moon without expensive rockets. NASA is investigating what may be the first crime in outer space, with astronaut Anne McClain accused of identity theft and improperly accessing her estranged wife's private financial records while on the ISS. Despite making up roughly 49% of the population, women are responsible for 100% 100% of the crimes in space. If you ever feel alone, remember that every year on August 5th, the Mars Curiosity rover sings the happy birthday song to itself to celebrate its landing on Mars. And it's dead now. It's gone. Did you know if you wear a sock inside out, the entire universe is wearing your sock except you? I wonder how many people's socks I'm wearing right now. But I usually wear my socks inside out as it is. And hear me out. I don't like the lining at the end of it going on your feet, on your toes.